It does bring us to 10 o'clock.
Well, I always like to say, is there another question out there that didn't get asked? Yes, ma'am, I knew you were there.
Yeah, okay, I am pro-choice, I am not in favor of pro-life movement, I think it should be pro-choice, and it's up to the woman and her doctor to decide what is best for her particular situation. How would you, persuade me different if possible?
Well, I'd say first that human life is sacred in all of its forms, and I hope we'd all agree to that. So the only other question you have to ask is, at what moment does life begin? And when I held my firstborn son, I looked at him and I thought, could anybody take his life now when he's 5 minutes old? Not in that sacred life. What about a minute before he was born? Or an hour, or a day, or a week, or a month, or a trimester, or 2 or 3? What's different from second to second, moment to moment? The only moment that this life can begin is the moment of conception. And from that moment, I believe God puts the soul in that baby, and their life is as sacred as yours and mine. That's what I believe.
Okay, so it's just a difference of Christian beliefs more than anything else.
Well, it's whether we believe human life is sacred, and I don't know whether we agree on that.
Obviously not, because a lot of states have the death penalty.
Yeah, all human life.
I'm gonna say, I'll go to that topic, but let's stick with this one and then we'll shift over to that topic. And because there is a distinction, but I don't wanna clutter this argument right now. Do we believe human life is sacred? And I do.
And I believe that human life begins when that child is born, because they cannot exist outside the woman's body until a certain time period.
They can't take care of themselves for the first few years either.
No, that is true, but they can't exist outside the woman's body until they're at least
I had
close to 8 months.
I
or
had
over 8
twins
months
born, I
pregnant.
think it was 16 weeks early. 1 pound 7 ounces and 2 pounds 7 ounces. So, you know, you tell me when they can be sustained outside the body. The technology is such that that's getting
Yeah.
slimmer and slimmer all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that child have a right to live, just like you have a right to live? Where is that child's right? Who's gonna stand up for that child?
I believe that those women that decide for themselves differently should have the right to do what
No.
they feel is right. I don't shove my religion on you or
I'm
my
not,
beliefs.
it's not a religious thing.
Yes, it is.
No,
It is.
it's their given right.
No, it is not.
We all have rights in this world.
See, and I don't agree with that at all. I believe that
Human
life
life
begins at
has a
birth.
right.
Our founding fathers put in our declaration, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those are prioritized rights
And
that
life
come from
comes
God.
first.
Right.
Excuse
And,
me.
and I'll come back to it, but the pursuit of happiness, in your pursuit of happiness, you can't trample on someone else's liberty, nor on someone else's life. In our pursuit of liberty, we can't trample on someone else's life. They were prioritized, they were not pulled out of a grab bag. Life is the paramount right. And so if you're a human being and you're alive, then I say that life is sacred. And Bob Casey, the former governor of Pennsylvania, whose son is now a senator, said it this way. He said, human life cannot be measured. It is the measure itself against which all other things are weighed. Yes, ma'am.
On a purely practical level here, one of the main reasons that women who have an unplanned pregnancy choose to abort is because they don't believe they can afford to provide for a child. So as someone who is pro-life, what do you propose we do to make women feel more confident in their ability to adequately care for children?
Well, I weigh the value of life as being so intrinsic that I can't match it up against dollars, but I can tell you what I told the president. We have to take care of them. These are precious little children, we have to take care of them. And there are at least 500,000 people in this country, couples in this country, that are waiting in line to adopt.
There are a lot of children in foster care already. Nobody is lining up
If
to
you would
adopt.
break those numbers down, you would see that many of them are in their upper teens, and it's awfully hard to adopt them out at that age.
Still